So I was going to do the funeral video, but it seems that fate has got different designs for me today. So, for those of you somehow unfamiliar with Vault 7 Wikileaks drop, it's big. It's really big. It's like we live in a cyberpunk dystopia big. Like, you're being watched by everything around you. It might not know your face yet. But all things in due time, as they say, right? Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and try and break this down for you best I can. I'll give you what I can, maybe throw in a couple links, accreditations, what have you, in the thingamajigger down there. Dialog box or whatever. Anyway, so where to begin? So if the leaks hit this morning at 9 o'clock, you can find a direct link to the whole archive on my Twitter, same as my YouTube, twitter.com, that fake guy Dan. Oh, yeah, I guess I'm on Minds now, for what that's worth. Anyway, so really, really brief reference here. Alex Jones. Oh, man, he's been vindicated on a bunch of stuff. That's wild, right? Whoever would have imagined that? So basically, what's happened here, CIA wanted their own cyber warfare division. So they built something up that's as big or bigger than the whole of the NSA, you could say. Their division made... They put any hacking crew to shame. They put any other governmental agency absolutely to shame. They had malware for iPhones, Androids, all sorts of other things, and they have apparently lost control of this. Their negligence led to this whole arsenal that this can apparently affect like Linux, even Mac OS, new versions, old versions, new versions of Windows. All new versions of Windows are basically spyware boxes, if you didn't already know. They've been hoarding zero-day attacks and exploits, which, instead of putting things in there that could save people and the money and the trouble and the espionage from other agencies, they've been hiding that. It's been used against private citizens. Most of this is not specifically geared towards external threats. It largely is directed internally. Like, these are things for watching us, you, me, American citizens. It's possible that this ties back into, the wiretapping we've heard of recently. On top of that, what do we got here? CIA coders have been put into, like, most of the major companies out there, like Yahoo, say, for instance. I can't back any of these up, but you get where I'm coming from. Like, say, for instance, at Microsoft, to make sure that there are particular exploits that exist that were put in there. Smart TVs, iPhones, consoles, tablet, from which I'm reading some of these news headlines, even, no less. Pretty much any Internet of Things thing can start spying on you at any time. Now, that's not to say that every one that's been put out, aside from those Samsung ones, because they pretty much just admitted to it, that it was already sending out the data. And let me see here. The Amazon Echo, I think, does something very similar. And Google Home, I believe, is another. These things basically are just constant recording devices. But they could turn on smartphones, turn on your smart TV and turn it into a... I can't remember what the term was for it. Let me see. Do I have it available? I do not have it handy. Oh well. They could turn your smartphone, or smart TV, I should say. I keep saying smartphone because that's basically just a GPS device with a microphone on it and a camera, so, right? But they could turn your smart TV into an kind of off mode where it's actually just recording everything that it sees to spy on you. I know. Like, oh man, what were those things called? Whatever the view screens were called in 1984 or Fahrenheit 451. Take your pick, right? So, yeah, all the Internet of things are watching and listening to you. Every Windows PC in the world is basically a spyware box. Like, it's just a matter of sending the call through to turn it on. Good stuff, right? Skype calls, they're generally converted into text and stored at that giant facility out in, I think, Iowa or wherever. Microsoft, Apple, Cisco, Google, or they've all directly worked with the CIA or are infiltrated thereby. They've got tools for remote. Now, this is where things get very, very interesting. We'll drop this first one because it applies directly to immediate things, but they have malware and tools of other countries so that they can leave a fingerprint of the likes of which you'd see from, say, a Russian hacker, or, for that matter, a North Korean hacker, or, again, for that matter, a Chinese hacker. You could see these things from anyone, really, and who knows where it's really coming from. It might have just come from our own domestic threats, huh? So then, now, the very interesting thing. They have tools for remote control of drive-by-wire vehicles. Cars, planes, trucks, medical devices, Wi-Fi pacemaker, for instance. Matter of just infiltrating the thing. And the things have been hacked. They've been shown to have significantly less than ample security. So, bear that in mind. Now, cars. We've heard of some very suspect deaths in the very recent past involving crashes at high speed. There was one, oh man. What was his name? Do I have it available here? I don't. It was the fellow that he was investigating the Clintons. It might have been in October, perhaps August. Nonetheless, just do a search. Oh, it starts with an H, I think, last name. Nonetheless, but this allows this would allow the controlling entity to take charge of a vehicle. In the case of something like a Tesla, take almost complete control. In the case of something like, say, a new Impreza that's got the drive-by-wire braking and throttle. Theoretically, if you've got something like OnStar and GPS, which would give you the access to those networks, and the networks thereby having access to you, they could theoretically, or take control of that and, cause you to accelerate to the height of your vehicle's capability and apply the brakes at any time. I mean, who knows? When you've got access to GPS, you could have somebody, even if you're directly connected to the steering wheel, if your vehicle's going far, far too fast for you to control, there's really just nothing you can do about it. So there was going to be a stream today from Julian Assange involving this, and he's been under constant assault today, which is no surprise. I mean, he's putting out information that we're not supposed to have, like, at all. And so we'll just have to give that some time to clear itself up. But something that this immediately does is it calls into question the Russian hacker thing. basically, they've been watching us through our own devices for some time. And that is genuinely disconcerting. Well, with that, I will call it a night, and Godspeed, people. Stay safe out there and tape up your cameras, I guess. Anyway, there's links on my website. There'll be a couple links below. You like what I do here? Look me up on Patreon. And I promise there's going to be some stories coming soon. Probably personal ones. Because that seems like the right thing to do. I want to take this channel back to its roots. That's where I all began. So, we'll see. Anyway, stay safe. Meow.